Chosen ones, your faith has been tested, and God says you're ready. The trials you've faced, the storms you've walked through, the moments you thought would break you, they were not meant to destroy you. They were divine preparation, forging you into a vessel of unshakable strength. Right now, God is declaring that you are ready to step into the purpose He has crafted for you. A purpose so grand it will ripple through your life and touch the world around you. The heavens are aligning, and the time for your breakthrough has come. Your journey hasn't been easy. You've stood in valleys where shadows loomed large, where doubt whispered lies, and where fear tried to take root. But you didn't crumble. You held fast to your faith, even when it felt like the ground beneath you was shaking. That steadfast heart, that refusal to let go of God's promises, has caught His attention. He sees you, chosen one. He knows every tear you've shed, every prayer you've whispered in the dark. Those moments of struggle were not punishment, they were training. God was shaping you, refining you, preparing you for a destiny that only you can fulfill. Think about a diamond, pressed under unimaginable weight for centuries, hidden in the earth's depths. It doesn't shine until it's uncovered, cut, and polished. Your trials were that pressure, that cutting, that polishing. Each challenge carved away what wasn't meant for you, revealing the brilliance God placed inside you from the beginning. Now, you're ready to shine, not for your own glory, but for His. Your life is about to become a testament to His power, a living proof that faith can move mountains. This moment is no accident. You're not here by chance. God has been orchestrating every step, every setback, every victory. The pain you endured wasn't random, it was purposeful. It built in you a resilience that the world cannot break. It gave you a heart that understands compassion, a spirit that knows endurance, and a faith that stands firm against any storm. God says you're ready because you've proven you can carry the weight of His calling. You've walked through fire and come out stronger, not burned. Pause for a moment, chosen one, and feel the truth of this. Your faith has been your anchor, your shield, your guide. When others would have turned back, you pressed forward. When the world tried to drown out God's voice, you listened. That's why the heavens are stirring. That's why the doors you've prayed for are beginning to open. God is saying, "My child, you've been faithful in the small things, and now I'm entrusting you with the great." Your readiness isn't about perfection, it's about trust. You trusted Him through the unknown, and now He's ready to show you what's possible. If this message is speaking to your spirit, if you feel the fire of God's truth burning within you, I invite you to take a stand. Hit that like button to declare your faith. Subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking this path, and leave a comment with the number 777. That number carries divine power, a sign that you're aligning with God's perfect plan. Do it now, and let the universe know you're ready to receive what He has prepared. Your faith has been tested, but it's also been proven. Look back at the moments you thought you couldn't survive. The loss, the betrayal, the nights you cried out to God for answers. You're still here, not just surviving, but standing taller, wiser, stronger. That's not by your own strength, it's by His grace. The Bible says in James 1:3-4, "The testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." You are that complete work now, chosen one. God has seen your perseverance, and He's ready to pour out blessings that will overflow. The world may have tried to define you by your struggles, but God defines you by your faith. You're not the person who almost gave up. You're the one who kept going. You're not the one who fell, you're the one who rose. Every test you faced was a step toward this moment, a moment where God says, "You're ready." Ready for what? For a life that reflects His glory, for opportunities that align with His purpose, for abundance that spills over into every area of your life, your relationships, your health, your finances, your dreams. Picture a seed buried in the soil. It sits in darkness, pressed on all sides, unseen by the world. But that darkness isn't its destiny. It's the place where it grows. Your tests were that soil, that pressure, that hidden season. Now, God is calling you to break through the surface, to stretch toward the light, to bloom into the fullness of who He created you to be. The world will see it. They'll notice the change in you, your confidence, your peace, your radiance. They may not understand it, but they'll feel the power of God's hand on your life. Your readiness isn't just about you, it's about the lives you're destined to touch. God didn't bring you through the fire for your own sake alone. He's preparing you to be a beacon, a vessel, a light in a world that desperately needs hope. Your story, your faith, your victory will inspire others. They'll look at you and see what's possible when someone trusts God through the storm. You're not just walking your path, you're paving the way for others to follow. Some of you are feeling a shift right now, a stirring in your spirit. That's God speaking to you, confirming that this is your time. The tests you faced weren't meant to stop you, they were meant to strengthen you. You've carried burdens that would have crushed others, but you're still standing. Why? Because God's hand was on you, because His strength was in you, because you were chosen for a purpose that goes beyond what you can see right now. Trust that. Lean into it. Let it fill you with courage. Your faith has been like gold, tested in the fire. 1 Peter 1:7 says, "These trials have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith, of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed." Your faith is that gold, chosen one. It's been refined, purified, made stronger through every trial. Now, it's ready to shine. Not for your glory, but for His. Not for your gain, but for His purpose. What does it mean to be ready? It means you're no longer defined by what tried to break you. It means you walk with a confidence that comes from knowing God is with you. It means you're stepping into a season where the prayers you've prayed, the dreams you've held, the hopes you've carried, they're about to take root and bear fruit. God is saying, "You've been faithful. Now watch what I do next." The enemy may have tried to make you doubt. He may have whispered that your struggles were proof you weren't enough. But that was a lie. Every test was a setup for your testimony. Every moment you chose faith over fear, you were building a foundation that cannot be shaken. The devil thought he could dim your light, but instead, your faith grew brighter. Now, God is ready to show the world what He can do through someone who trusts Him completely. Take a moment to think about Joseph. Sold into slavery, betrayed by his brothers, thrown into prison. The world saw a broken man, but God saw a leader. Every trial Joseph faced was a step toward his destiny. When the time came, God lifted him from the pit to the palace. That's what God is doing for you, chosen one. The pit wasn't your end, it was your preparation. The palace is coming, not because of your strength, but because of His promise. If you're feeling the weight of this message, if you know in your spirit that God is speaking to you, don't hold back. Hit that like button, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls, and leave a comment with 777 to declare that you're ready for what God has next. These actions aren't just for the video. They're a signal to the heavens that you're standing in faith, claiming the promises God has spoken over you. Your readiness isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting the one who does. You don't need to see the whole path to take the next step. God is saying, I've seen your faith. I've seen your heart. You're ready. Ready to walk through doors that only He can open. Ready to receive blessings that only He can give. Ready to live a life that reflects His power and love. The tests you faced weren't just obstacles. They were invitations. Invitations to trust deeper, to love stronger, to believe bigger. Every time you chose to hold on to God's promises, you were saying yes to His plan. And now, He's saying yes to you. Yes to your dreams, yes to your healing, yes to your breakthrough. The season of testing is giving way to a season of triumph. Imagine a warrior, battle-scarred but standing tall. The marks on their armor tell a story of fights fought and won. That's you, chosen one. Your scars aren't signs of weakness, they're proof of your strength. They're evidence that you've faced the enemy and come out victorious. God sees those scars, and He's proud of you. He's saying, well done, my faithful one. Now, let's show the world what I can do through you. Your faith has carried you this far, but it's not done with you yet. It's a fire that burns brighter with every test. It's a river that flows stronger with every obstacle. It's a light that shines through every shadow. God has seen it, and He's ready to move. He's ready to open doors you didn't even know existed. He's ready to pour out blessings that will leave you in awe. The world may look at you and see only what's on the surface, but God sees the heart He's shaped. He sees the faith He's strengthened. He sees the purpose He's planted. You're not just ready, you're chosen. Chosen to carry His light. Chosen to walk His path. Chosen to live a life that declares His goodness. The tests are over, chosen one. Now, it's time to step into what God has prepared. Your life is about to change in ways you can't yet imagine. The dreams you've held in your heart, the prayers you've whispered in secret, God has heard them all. He's been working behind the scenes, aligning people, places, and opportunities for this very moment. Your faith has been the key, unlocking a future that's bigger than anything you could plan for yourself. Think about Moses standing before the Red Sea, pursued by an army with nowhere to go. The world saw an impossible situation, but God saw an opportunity. With one move, He parted the waters and made a way where there was none. That's what He's doing for you now. The obstacles in front of you aren't the end, they're the stage for His miracle. Your faith has brought you to this moment, and God is about to make a way. You've been faithful in the waiting, faithful in the pain, faithful in the uncertainty. That's why God says you're ready. Ready to receive His promises. Ready to walk in His purpose. Ready to live a life that glorifies Him. The world will see it. They'll see the change in you, the peace, the strength, the joy. They'll see a chosen one who trusted God through the storm and came out shining. Your tests were not in vain. They were the crucible where your faith was forged. Every moment you chose to trust, every time you refused to give up, you were building something eternal, something unshakable, something that God is now ready to use. You're not just a survivor, you're a conqueror. Not by your power, but by His. The Bible says in Romans 8:37, "In all these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us." That's you, chosen one. More than a conqueror, more than your past, more than your pain, more than the tests that tried to break you. God has declared you ready, and His word is final. No doubt, no fear, no enemy can stand against what He has spoken over your life. Your faith has been your foundation, but now it's becoming your future. God is taking the trust you've shown and turning it into miracles you'll see. The doors that were closed are swinging open. The dreams that felt distant are coming into focus. The life you've prayed for is taking shape. Why? Because you're ready. Because God says so. Imagine a runner nearing the end of a grueling race. Their legs burn, their lungs ache, but the finish line is in sight. That's where you are, chosen one. The race isn't over, but the hardest miles are behind you. God is cheering you on, saying, "You're almost there. Keep going. I've got something incredible waiting for you." Your faith has carried you this far, and it will carry you across the finish line. The enemy may have tried to make you feel small, but God is making you mighty. The world may have tried to box you in, but God is setting you free. Your tests were real, but so is His promise. You're ready not because you feel ready, but because He says you are. Trust that. Step into it. Let His truth be the wind at your back, pushing you toward the life He's prepared. If this message is stirring your soul, if you know God is speaking directly to you, don't wait. Hit that like button, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls, and comment 777 to claim the promises God has for you. These aren't just actions, they're declarations of faith, signals to the heavens that you're ready to receive what's yours. Your readiness is a gift from God, but it's also a responsibility. He's not just giving you blessings for your own sake, He's entrusting you with a mission, to shine His light, to share His love, to show the world what faith can do. Every test you've faced has prepared you for this. You're not just ready to receive, you're ready to give hope to the hopeless, strength to the weary, faith to the doubting. Think about David, facing Goliath with nothing but a sling and a stone. The world saw a boy against a giant, but God saw a king in the making. Your tests were your Goliath, and you faced them with the same courage. Now, God is ready to show the world the king or queen He's been shaping in you. Your faith has been your sling, your stone, your victory. The season of testing is giving way to a season of triumph. The prayers you've prayed are turning into answers you'll see. The faith you've held is becoming the future you'll live. God is moving, chosen one. He's moving in your life, in your heart, in your world. You're ready because He's made you ready. Step forward with boldness, knowing that the God who brought you through the fire is leading you into the promise. Your life is about to become a living testimony. People will look at you and see God's hand. They'll see the peace that surpasses understanding, the strength that defies explanation, the joy that radiates from within. They'll see a chosen one who trusted God through every test and came out victorious. That's not just your story, it's His glory. The tests you faced were never meant to define you. They were meant to refine you. Every moment you chose faith over fear, you were stepping closer to this moment. The moment where God says, "You're ready." Ready for His blessings, ready for His purpose, ready for a life that reflects His love. The world is watching, chosen one. Show them what God can do through a heart that trusts Him. Your faith has been tested, but it's also been proven. Proven in the moments you refused to give up, proven in the prayers you kept praying, proven in the trust you kept holding. God sees it all, and He's ready to reward it. The Bible says in Hebrews 11:6, "Without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him." You've sought Him, chosen one. Now, get ready for the reward. Picture a tree, standing tall through every season, storms, droughts, bitter winters. Its roots go deep, anchoring it against every wind. That's your faith. It's been tested by every season, but its roots are deep in God's promises. Now, the season of harvest is here. The fruit of your faith is about to bloom, and it will be more beautiful than you can imagine. The enemy thought he could stop you. He thought the tests would break you, but he didn't know who he was dealing with. You're not just anyone, you're God's chosen one. Your faith has made you unstoppable. Your trust has made you unbreakable. Your love for God has made you undeniable. The tests were real, but so is your victory. God is saying, you're ready. Ready to walk in His purpose. Ready to receive His blessings. Ready to live a life that shines with His glory. The tests were your training ground, but now you're stepping into the arena of His promises. The world will see it. The enemy will see it. And you, chosen one, will live it. Your faith has been your compass, guiding you through the darkest nights. Now, it's leading you into the light of God's love, His power, His purpose. You're not just ready, you're chosen, called, and anointed. The tests were tough, but they've made you tougher. The storms were fierce, but they've made you fiercer. God has seen it all, and He's saying, well done. Now, let's begin. Every test was a step toward this moment. Every tear was a seed planted in faith. Every prayer was a brick in the foundation of your destiny. God has been building something in you, chosen one. Something strong, something beautiful, something eternal. You're ready to show the world what He can do through a heart that trusts Him. The season of testing is over, but the season of testimony is just beginning. Your life is about to become a story of God's faithfulness, a story of trials turned to triumphs, a story of faith that refused to fail. God is ready to write the next chapter, and it's going to be breathtaking. Are you ready to step into it? Your faith has been tested, but it's also been perfected. Perfected through the fire, through the pain, through the moments you chose to trust when trusting was hard. That perfection isn't about being flawless. It's about being faithful, and God sees that faithfulness. He's ready to honor it with blessings you can't yet fathom. Think about Esther, a young woman thrust into a moment that could have broken her. She faced a king, a culture, a threat that could have ended her life, but her faith made her bold. Her trust made her unstoppable. God used her to save a nation. That's what He's doing with you, chosen one. Your faith is about to move mountains, not just for you, but for those around you. The tests you faced were never about your weakness, they were about God's strength. Every time you leaned on Him, you grew stronger. Every time you trusted, you grew bolder. Every time you believed, you grew closer to the person He created you to be. Now, you're ready. Ready to walk in His power. Ready to live in His purpose. Ready to shine with His glory. Your life is a canvas, and God is the artist. The tests were His brushstrokes, shaping you into a masterpiece. The world may not see it yet, but they will. They'll see the beauty of a life transformed by faith. They'll see the power of a heart that trusted God through every storm. They'll see a chosen one, ready to fulfill His purpose. The enemy may have tried to write your story, but God has the pen. He's been writing a story of redemption, of victory, of faith that overcomes. The tests were just the prelude. The real story starts now. A story of abundance, of purpose, of a life that reflects the God who called you His own. You're ready, chosen one. Step into it. Your faith has been the key that unlocked this moment. The moment where God says, I've seen your heart, and you're ready. Ready for His blessings. Ready for His purpose. ready for a life that will leave the world in awe. The tests were real, but so is his promise. The storms were fierce, but so is his power. You're not just ready, you're chosen. Picture a river carving its way through stone. It doesn't fight the rock, it flows, steady and sure, until the stone gives way. That's your faith. It's been steady, flowing through every obstacle, carving a path for God's purpose. Now, that river is about to overflow, bringing life to everything it touches. Your life, chosen one, is about to overflow with His goodness. The tests you faced were not the end, they were the beginning. The beginning of a story God is writing through you. A story of faith that stood firm. A story of trust that never wavered. A story of a chosen one who believed, even when the world said to give up. God is ready to show the world what He can do with a heart like yours. Your readiness isn't about what you've done, it's about what God has done in you. He's taken your faith and turned it into strength. He's taken your tests and turned them into testimony. He's taken your trust and turned it into triumph. You're ready, chosen one, because He's ready to move. Step forward and watch what He does next. The world may have tried to dim your light, but God has been fanning the flame. Your faith has kept it burning, and now it's ready to blaze. A light that cannot be hidden, a light that will draw others to Him, a light that will show the world what happens when a chosen one trusts God through every test. Your tests were not a punishment, they were a promotion. Each one was a step up, a chance to grow closer to God, to grow stronger in faith, to grow ready for His purpose. Now, you're standing at the top of that staircase, and the view is breathtaking. God is saying, "Look at what I've prepared for you. You're ready to walk in it." The enemy thought he could stop you, but he only made you stronger. The world thought it could define you, but God had other plans. Your faith has been tested, and it's proven true. Now, God is ready to show the world what He can do through a chosen one who never gave up. Get ready, because your story is about to take a turn that will leave you in awe. Your life is about to become a living proof of God's faithfulness. The tests you faced were the soil where He planted His promises. Now, those promises are about to bloom into blessings that will overflow. Bloom into opportunities that will amaze you. Bloom into a life that reflects His glory. You're ready, chosen one, because God says you are. The tests were tough, but they've made you tougher. The storms were fierce, but they've made you fiercer. The trials were real, but so is your victory. God has seen every step, every tear, every moment of faith. He's saying, you're ready, ready for His purpose, ready for His blessings, ready for a life that will shine with His love. Your faith has been the bridge between your tests and your triumph. It's carried you over every obstacle, through every storm, into this moment. The moment where God says, you're ready, ready to walk in His truth, ready to live in His purpose, ready to show the world what faith can do. Step into it, chosen one. The best is yet to come. The world may have seen your struggles, but God saw your strength. The enemy may have seen your pain, but God saw your faith. You've been tested and you've passed, not by your power, but by His. Now, He's ready to show the world what He can do through a chosen one who trusted Him through it all. Your life is about to become a testimony that will shake the heavens. Your faith has been like a seed planted in the dark, pressed by the weight of trials. But seeds don't stay buried forever. They break through, reaching for the light. That's you, chosen one. You're breaking through. The light is yours. The promise is yours. The victory is yours. God says you're ready, and His word is enough. The tests you faced were never about breaking you, they were about building you. Building a faith that cannot be shaken. Building a heart that cannot be swayed. Building a life that cannot be stopped. God has seen it all, and He's proud of you. He's ready to pour out blessings that will overflow, to open doors that will amaze, to write a story that will inspire. Your readiness is a gift, forged in the fire of faith. It's a gift that will change your life and the lives of those around you. God is saying, "You've trusted me. Now watch what I do." The tests are over. The triumph is here. Step into it, chosen one, and let the world see what God can do through a heart that never gave up. Your faith has been the fire that burned through every doubt, chosen one. It's been the spark that refused to go out, even in the darkest moments. Now, God is fanning that flame into a blaze that will light up your path. The tests you faced were not just hurdles, they were fuel, igniting a purpose so powerful it will reshape your life. God says you're ready, not because you've reached the end, but because you've learned to trust Him in the middle of the storm. Imagine a ship battered by waves, tossed by winds, yet still sailing toward its destination. That's you. The storms of life tried to sink you, but your faith was the anchor, your trust the compass. Every wave that hit you only pushed you closer to the shore God promised. Now, you're nearing that shore, a place of peace, abundance, and purpose. The world may see a weary traveler, but God sees a captain, ready to lead others to safety. Your tests weren't random. They were divine appointments, moments where God was teaching you to stand firm. When others would have run, you stayed. When others would have doubted, you believed. That's why God is moving now. He's seen your heart, tested and true, and He's ready to pour out blessings that will overflow into every corner of your life. Your faith has built a foundation, and God is about to build something magnificent on it. The enemy thought he could use your trials to break you, but God used them to make you. Every moment of pain was a brushstroke in His masterpiece. Every tear was a seed for His harvest. Your faith turned what the enemy meant for harm into a testimony of God's power. Genesis 50:20 says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done." That's your story, chosen one. God's good is unfolding now. Your readiness comes from the quiet moments of trust. The prayers you whispered when no one else was listening. Those moments weren't unseen. God heard every word. He saw every step you took in faith, even when the path was unclear. Now, He's clearing the way. Doors you didn't know existed are about to open. Opportunities you couldn't have planned are about to appear. Your faith has prepared you for a future that will astonish you. Picture a potter shaping clay. The wheel spins, the hands press, the clay bends under pressure. That's what your tests were, God's hands shaping you. The pressure wasn't to crush you. It was to form you into something beautiful, something strong, something ready for His purpose. Now, the potter is ready to show the world His creation. You're not just clay anymore, you're a vessel for His glory. The world may have tried to label you by your struggles, but God labels you by your calling. You're not defined by the tests you faced, but by the faith you showed. Every time you chose to trust, you were stepping into the identity God designed for you. Now, He's ready to unveil that identity, a chosen one, radiant with His light, unstoppable in His purpose. Your faith has been like a riverbed, carved deep by years of steady trust. The waters of God's blessings are about to flow through that riverbed, bringing life to everything they touch. Your life, your relationships, your dreams, they're all about to be refreshed by His provision. The tests carved the path. Now, the blessings will fill it. Get ready, chosen one, for a flood of his goodness. The enemy may have tried to build walls around you, but your faith tore them down. Every doubt, every fear, every lie, they crumbled because you chose to believe God's truth. Now, those walls are gone, and the horizon is wide open. God is saying, step forward. The land I've promised is yours. Your faith has cleared the way for a future that's bigger than your past. Think about Noah, building an ark while the world mocked him. For years, he labored in faith, trusting God's word when it made no sense. When the rains came, his faith was vindicated. Your faith is like that ark built through years of trust, ready to carry you through the flood of blessings God is sending. The world may not understand yet, but they'll see his hand on your life soon. If this message is igniting your spirit, if you feel God's truth stirring within you, take a moment to act. Hit that like button to proclaim your faith. Subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls, and comment 777 to align with God's perfect plan. These steps are more than actions, they're declarations that you're ready for what He has in store. Your tests were not just battles, they were lessons. Lessons in trust, in endurance, in love. Every time you chose faith, you learned something new about God's character. You learned He's faithful when the world is not. You learned He's strong when you are weak. You learned He's present when you feel alone. Now, those lessons are your strength, preparing you for a purpose that will change lives. Your faith has been like a lighthouse, standing firm against crashing waves. It's guided you through the darkest nights, and now it's guiding you into a new dawn. A dawn where God's promises shine bright, where His purpose takes root, where His blessings overflow. You're ready, chosen one, because your faith has made you a beacon for His light. The tests you faced were like a forge, heating and shaping you into something stronger than before. The fire wasn't meant to burn you, it was meant to refine you. Now you're a sword in God's hand, sharp and ready for His purpose. The enemy thought he could dull you, but God made you sharper. The world thought it could break you, but God made you unbreakable. Your readiness isn't about being perfect, it's about being prepared. Prepared by every prayer, every act of faith, every moment you chose to trust God over your circumstances. He's seen it all, and He's saying, you're ready. Ready to walk in His truth, to live in His purpose, to shine with His glory. The tests were your training. Now, the mission begins. Imagine a garden tended through seasons of drought and storm. The gardener never gave up, watering and pruning, trusting that the harvest would come. That's God with you. He's been tending your faith, nurturing your heart, preparing you for a harvest that will overflow. The seeds of your trust are about to bloom into blessings you can't contain. The enemy may have tried to sow weeds in your life, but God's hand pulled them out. Every lie, every doubt, every fear, He's cleared them away. Now, your life is fertile ground for His promises. Your faith has prepared the soil, and God is ready to plant something extraordinary, something that will grow, flourish, and bear fruit for His kingdom. Your tests were like a sculptor's chisel, chipping away at everything that wasn't meant for you. The pain, the struggle, the doubt, they were all part of the process, revealing the masterpiece God always saw in you. Now, He's ready to display His work. Your life is about to become a gallery of His grace, a showcase of His power, a testament to His love. The world may have seen your tests as weakness, but God saw them as strength. Every time you trusted Him, you were building muscles of faith. Every time you prayed, you were lifting weights of trust. Now, you're strong not by your own power, but by His, strong enough to carry the purpose He's giving you. strong enough to walk the path he's prepared. Your faith has been like a bridge, carrying you over every chasm of doubt. It's held strong through every storm, every trial, every moment you thought you couldn't go on. Now, that bridge is leading you to a new land, a land of promise, of purpose, of peace. God is saying, cross over, you're ready. The other side is closer than you think. Think about Abraham, called to leave everything he knew for a promise he couldn't see. His faith was tested, but he trusted God's voice. That trust led him to a legacy that still blesses the world. Your faith is like that, chosen one. It's leading you to a legacy that will outlive you, a purpose that will echo through generations. Your tests were not just obstacles, they were opportunities. Opportunities to grow closer to God, to lean on His strength, to trust His plan. Every time you chose faith, you were saying yes to His purpose. Now, He's saying yes to you, yes to your dreams, yes to your prayers, yes to the life He's always planned for you. The enemy may have tried to make you feel small, but God is making you mighty. The world may have tried to keep you down, but God is lifting you up. Your faith has been the key, unlocking a future that's brighter than you can imagine. You're ready, chosen one, because God has prepared you for this moment. Picture a phoenix rising from the ashes of a fire that should have destroyed it. That's you. The tests were the flames, but they didn't consume you, they transformed you. Now, you're rising, wings spread, ready to soar into the purpose God has for you. The world will see it, the enemy will see it, and you will live it. Your faith has been like a melody, playing softly through the noise of the world. It's been a song of trust, of hope, of love for God. Now, that melody is about to become a symphony, filling your life with the music of His promises. Every note of your faith has built to this moment, and God is ready to conduct the masterpiece. The tests you faced were like a puzzle, each piece a moment of trust, a step of faith, a prayer in the dark. Now God is putting the pieces together, revealing a picture more beautiful than you could have imagined. A picture of purpose, of blessing, of a life that reflects His glory. You're ready, chosen one, because the puzzle is complete. Your readiness is a gift, forged in the moments you chose God over fear. It's a gift that will carry you into a future where His promises come alive. The tests were real, but so is His plan. The trials were tough, but so are you. God says you're ready, and His word is the final say. The enemy thought he could write the end of your story, but God holds the pen. He's been writing a story of redemption, of victory, of faith that overcomes. The tests were the opening chapters, but the best is yet to come. A chapter of abundance, of purpose, of a life that shines with His love. You're ready to turn the page. Your faith has been like a lantern, glowing in the darkest nights. It's lit the way through every trial, every doubt, every fear. Now, that lantern is about to become a beacon, shining for all to see. A beacon of God's love, His power, His purpose. The world will be drawn to your light, chosen one, because God says you're ready. The tests you faced were like a marathon, each step a test of endurance. You kept running, even when your strength was gone, because God was your strength. Now, the finish line is in sight, and it's not just a line, it's a new beginning. A beginning of blessings, of purpose, of a life that glorifies Him. Your faith has been the thread, weaving through every moment of your life. It's held you together when the world tried to tear you apart. Now, God is weaving that thread into a tapestry, a story of His faithfulness, His love, His power. You're ready, chosen one, to show the world the beauty He's created in you. The enemy may have tried to silence your voice, but God is amplifying it. Your faith has been your song, and now it's time to sing it loud. Sing it through your life, your actions, your love. Sing it so the world hears the God who brought you through. You're ready because He's ready to use you. Picture a mountain standing tall against the storms. Its roots go deep, its peak touches the sky. That's your faith, chosen one, deeply rooted in God's promises, reaching for His purpose. The storms couldn't move you, and now the view from the top is yours. A view of His plan, His blessings, His glory. Your tests were like a blacksmith's hammer, striking the raw metal of your heart. Each blow shaped you, strengthened you, made you ready for God's purpose. Now, you're not just metal, you're a sword, sharp and strong, ready to cut through the lies of the enemy and shine with God's truth. The world may have seen your struggles, but God saw your faith. The enemy may have seen your pain, but God saw your trust. You've been tested, and you've proven true. Now, God is ready to show the world what He can do through a chosen one who never gave up. Step forward and watch His promises unfold. Your faith has been like a river, carving its path through the hardest stone. Each test you faced was a boulder in your way, but your trust in God kept the waters flowing. Now, that river is reaching the open plain, ready to spread life and abundance wherever it goes. God says you're ready, chosen one, because your faith has carved a path for His blessings to flow. The world will see a river of His goodness pouring through you. Think of a tapestry, woven with threads of every color, each one a moment of your life. The dark threads of trials, the bright threads of faith, they've all been part of God's design. Every test was a stitch, every prayer a knot, binding your story together. Now, He's ready to reveal the full picture, a masterpiece of purpose, beauty, and strength that only He could create. The enemy tried to unravel you, but your faith held every thread in place. He thought he could tear apart God's plan, but your trust was stronger than his schemes. Now, God is lifting the veil, showing you the beauty of what He's been weaving. You're ready, not because you've seen the whole design, but because you've trusted the weaver through every stitch. Your tests were like a long night, where the stars seemed hidden and the dawn far off. But your faith was the light that kept you walking, trusting that morning would come. Now, the sky is breaking open and the sunrise is here. A sunrise of God's promises, His purpose, His love. You're ready, chosen one, to step into the warmth of His new day. The world may have seen your struggles as chains, but God saw them as wings. Every test you faced was teaching you to fly above doubt, above fear, above the lies of the enemy. Your faith gave you wings, and now God is saying, soar. Soar into the purpose He's prepared, the blessings He's promised, the life He's designed for you. Your readiness isn't about knowing every step. It's about trusting the one who does. You've walked through valleys where the path was hidden, but you kept going because you knew God was leading. Now, He's bringing you to a mountaintop where the view is clear and the air is filled with His presence. Your faith has brought you here, and He's ready to show you what's next. Picture a seed buried deep in the earth, surrounded by darkness. It doesn't fight the soil, it trusts the process, knowing the light is waiting. Your tests were that soil pressing in, but your faith was the seed pushing upward. Now, you're breaking through, ready to grow into the fullness of God's plan. The harvest is coming, and it will be abundant. The enemy thought he could bury you, but God was planting you. Every trial was a layer of soil meant to strengthen your roots. Your faith kept you reaching for the light, And now you're ready to bloom. Bloom with purpose, with joy, with a life that reflects God's glory. The world will see it, and they'll know He's been at work in you. Your faith has been like a flame, burning steady through the fiercest winds. The storms of life tried to snuff it out, but you guarded it, fueled it with trust, kept it alive with prayer. Now, God is turning that flame into a fire that cannot be contained, a fire of His purpose, His power, His love. You're ready, chosen one, to let that fire shine. The tests you faced were like a crucible, melting away everything that wasn't meant for you. Doubt, fear, shame, they burned away in the heat of God's refining fire. Your faith was the gold that remained, pure and strong. Now, God is ready to use that gold to build something eternal, something that will stand as a testament to His grace. If this message is stirring your heart, if you feel God's voice speaking through these words, take a moment to respond. Hit that like button to declare your faith. Subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls, and comment 777 to claim the promises God has for you. These aren't just actions, they're steps of faith, signaling to the heavens that you're ready for His plan. Your readiness is a crown, forged in the moments you chose God over despair. Every test was a jewel, every act of faith a gem, set into the crown of your calling. Now, God is placing that crown on your head, declaring you ready to walk in His purpose. You're not just a servant, you're a royal, chosen to reign with His authority. The world may have tried to dim your light, but your faith kept it burning. Every time you trusted God, you added fuel to that light. Now, it's a beacon, drawing others to His truth. You're ready, chosen one, not because you've earned it, but because God has prepared you to shine, to lead, to love with His heart. Think of a bridge stretching across a raging river. Each plank was a moment of faith, each nail a prayer. Your tests were the storms that shook it, but your trust kept it standing. Now, God is calling you to cross that bridge, to step into the land of His promises. The other side is waiting, and it's more beautiful than you can imagine. Your faith has been like a song, sung softly in the quiet of your heart. Through every trial, you kept singing, even when the notes were heavy with pain. Now, God is turning that song into a symphony, a melody of His faithfulness that will echo through your life. You're ready to sing it loud, chosen one, for the world to hear. The enemy thought he could silence you, but your faith was your voice. Every time you trusted God, you spoke louder than his lies. Now, your voice is about to carry His truth, His love, His power. God says you're ready to speak, to live, to show the world what faith can do. Your story is His megaphone. Your tests were like a forge, shaping you into a weapon for God's kingdom. Not a weapon of destruction, but of love, of truth, of hope. Your faith was the fire that tempered you, making you strong enough to carry His purpose. Now, He's ready to wield you, to use you to cut through darkness and bring His light. Picture a tree standing through centuries of storms. Its branches reach high, its roots dig deep, unshaken by the winds. That's your faith, chosen one, deeply rooted in God's promises, reaching for His purpose. The storms couldn't uproot you, and now the fruit of your faith is about to ripen, ready to feed a hungry world. The world may have seen your tests as failures, but God saw them as victories. Every time you chose faith, you won a battle. Every time you trusted, you claimed a triumph. Now, God is ready to crown those victories with blessings that will overflow. You're ready because your faith has already won. Your readiness is like a key forged in the fires of your trials. It's the key to unlock the doors God has prepared doors to abundance, to purpose, to a life that glorifies Him. Your faith turned the lock, and now those doors are swinging open. Step through, chosen one, and see what He has waiting. The enemy tried to chain you to your past, but your faith broke every link. Every test was a chance to trust, to grow, to become free. Now you're standing in freedom, ready to walk in God's purpose. The chains are gone, and the path ahead is clear. God says you're ready to run. Your faith has been like a lighthouse, guiding you through the fog of doubt. Its beam cut through every lie, every fear, every storm. Now, that light is shining brighter, not just for you, but for others lost in the fog. You're ready, chosen one, to guide them to God's truth with your faith. Think of Daniel, thrown into a den of lions, surrounded by danger. His faith didn't waver, and God shut the mouths of the lions. Your tests were your lions, but your faith silenced them. Now, God is ready to lift you out of the den, to show the world His power in you. Your tests were like a sculptor's tools, chiseling away at everything that hid God's design. Each strike shaped you, revealed you, prepared you. Now, the sculpture is ready, a work of art that reflects His glory. You're ready, chosen one, to be displayed for His purpose. The world may have tried to bury your dreams, but your faith kept them alive. Every prayer, every act of trust was water to those dreams. Now, God is bringing them to life, ready to bloom in ways you never imagined. Your faith has prepared the ground, and the harvest is near. Your readiness is a fire, kindled by every moment you chose God over fear. That fire has burned away doubt, leaving only faith, only trust, only His truth. Now, God is ready to use that fire to light up the world. You're ready to burn bright for His glory. The enemy thought he could drown you in despair, but your faith was your lifeline. It kept you afloat, kept you breathing, kept you hoping. Now, God is pulling you to shore, to a place of rest, of abundance, of purpose. You're ready, chosen one, to walk on solid ground.